Okay. And before we get too far down the timeline, I do want to mention Emma's Jambrosia. And the project that, before Emma's Jambrosia, the Women's Center decided that the whole issue of women's employment in this area, and that there were incredible amounts of very underemployed and unemployed and poverty-stricken women, really impoverished. And what we really needed, and got some help actually from the federal government, HRDC, Employment Innovation Canada, they funded a feasibility study where we looked at 3 different types of potential businesses that would be serve the needs of chronically unemployed women.
LEAP it was called.
It was called LEAP, yes, the LEAP program.
As opposed to the LIP program.
Yeah. Right. And interestingly enough, Bonnie Baker was researching using Jerusalem artichokes to produce ethanol, because Jerusalem artichokes are, of course, propagate themselves in ways that, if only we could do something with them. And turning them into ethanol would really be a very smart thing as we look at it today, but that project was a little ahead of its time, and I think we missed the boat on a certain level. But then we looked at a wooden toy factory, and it just didn't sort of pan out. The other thing that we looked at, yes?
This is, it's all very funny, it's all very ironic, because the reason that the toy factory wasn't going to work was because the shipping costs were going to be too expensive.
Which is what killed Emma's Jambrosia ultimately. But anyway, for 3 years, I built the factory with a group of men out in the Slocan Valley, which is now Mountain Sky Soap Factory. And it was Emma's Jambrosia. We had to call it Jambrosia because it was 70% fruit instead of 70% sugar. And to call it jam, it has to be 70% sugar. Remember that when you look at labels now. And it was 70% fruit and honey, and it was just the most incredible recipe you'll ever taste. I think I still have a few jars in a box somewhere. But so many unemployed, chronically unemployed women were a part of the 13-member collective that developed that company, fostered by the Nelson Women's Center. And it was really very sad when we actually had to make a decision to shut the thing down. We were, I think, almost 4 years into it when we decided that the crow rate went up. And we decided to stop producing the jam and shut the factory down and sell everything right at the point so that we didn't take anybody with us when we went. Our glass people were okay, the honey people were okay, so nobody lost anything, and nor did the women who were involved in the project lose their shirts. So it was very responsibly done, and so now that was another piece of work that we did here in the Kootenays. Sally, yes.
Out of sheer curiosity, could we get everybody in the room who was on the Emma's Jambrosia collective to stand up at any point? I'm wondering how many of
How
those
many
women
people
are
in Emma's Jambrosia? Ah, Joanne.
And who? Beryl. Oh, okay. Beryl was standing.